My name is Jennifer Hannum. I'm an environmental scientist and I own Blue Heron Environmental Services. Um, and I'm here today to talk about how to implement, look at, and utilize the last 90 days of the year. So technically, and I guess I should say I'm a founding partner here at the Center for Mindful Business as well. And a graduate of the MMTCP program in 2023. So that's how I got to this seat right here. And it's Sunday morning, so I'm wearing a sweatshirt, no makeup, and standard standard operating procedure. And if you hear a purring cat, that's because there's a kitten right here named Scrapple who likes to join Zoom. So she'll probably be interrupting at some point. She's cold though too, so we'll we'll see if she gets up. Let's see. Last 90 days of the year is an idea that was sort of popularized recently by a woman named Rachel Hollis, who is a personal development kind of guru person. She writes a lot of books, including one called Girl Wash Your Face. And the idea behind the last 90 days of the year is to figure out what's left. What's left in 2023 that you'd like to accomplish? Now, in the business world, we just call it the fourth quarter. That's not as much fun and it's not as distinctive. This last 90 days is a really good time to utilize um, the last bit of energy you have to push through the end of the year and to really start taking stock of looking back at the year and looking forward to what you want to have happen in 2024. So, and to do it in a mindful way is how we're going to approach it. So, it's a good time to take a look, dig out those 2023 goals that you wrote down and, as your New Year's resolution or your business goals. Go over them, see what you did get accomplished and pat yourself on the back for that because it was a crazy hard year. And also see if there's one thing left on there. There might be, 14 things left. Some years are harder than others, but see if there's just one that's sticking out that maybe is accomplishable with the amount of bandwidth and emotional energy you have left at this time. So it's being, finding an accomplishment, ways to push forward, but also honoring your boundaries and limits. Because if you are on empty, then maybe the goal is to just clean the calendar off and coast through the next 90 days to recharge your batteries. Do the things that recharge your batteries. And that is a really acceptable personal and business goal too. That's hard. There's a lot of judgment. I feel like a lot of judgment saying that, just, oh, what, I'm just going to take the rest of the year off and coast through. And I hear a lot of judgment in my own head saying that. But if that's what you need, then that's what you do. That's what you do. You take the time to recharge your batteries. You plug the battery back in and just let it sit. And if that's it, that's it. I prefer to do, I try to accomplish one business and one personal in the last 90 days. And when I say last 90 days, hi, Kaylin. I mean the last 80 days because it's October 10th. So this generally goes through the end of the year. I usually last 90 days starts on October 1st. I try to start mine about September 15th because I like my year to end about December 15th. So somewhere between the December 10th to 15th range. Because personally, I'm empty in December. I like a quieter December. That's an easier December. And I've noticed, particularly in my industry, in environmental and engineering, we push really hard in those weeks in December instead of dialing it back a little bit and allowing yourself and the company to enjoy the fruits of a hard year and enjoy holidays with your families and all the other things that you do in December. There's a lot of added layers in December. So the thought of, okay, my year end is December 10th. So what do I have to do in order to push the stop button on December 10th and then just have easy weeks after that? For 2023 goals, I guess it's good to ask what's left to accomplish in 2023. Is there a frog that needs to be eaten? Eat the frog is a business term that it's a book too. I don't know who the author is, but it's a book that says eating a frog is finally sitting down and doing that hard, annoying task you've been procrastinating on, the one that's been sitting on your to-do list or rattling around in your head and you just don't want to do it. And when you do sit down to do it, it's hard and you're resistant, but it gets done in a much faster place. I know for me, some of the frogs I've had to overcome this year were getting my taxes done. I don't want to do it this year for whatever reason. I don't want to do the paperwork. I had to switch email servers this year. So I had to undo a lot of email stuff, lose some emails, and then get set up on something else. It's just time consuming and annoying. I didn't want to do it.
So Jennifer, I'm kind of interjecting. How can folks use mindfulness to enhance this letting go, goal setting, that sort of thing?
So to be mindful about what the rest of the goals are for the year is to be non-judgmental. So when you're eating that frog and you're complaining about it, note what you're thinking. Note the criticism that you have. Note the story that comes with it, and see if you can work with that. For the overall goals, there's a time to push forward. Like some people really love to just beat it all the way to the end, be overachieving, be high strung, high stress. That's not the only way to accomplish goals. There is a mindful way that says, okay, how do I want to feel? I have this much bandwidth at this time. What are the other things that I want to do with this time period? Can I work this goal around those other things? For business, some of the other frogs are there systems to set up and monitor or modernize to help take away some of the busy work? That could be one of the last 90-day goals. It's important to set aside some time to do some deep thinking. So maybe deep thinking is the last 90-day goal, because some of those systems and processes need deep thinking time, and you have to factor that into your schedule. Also, is there a personal development task to either finish up from this past year? Are there certifications that maybe you wanted to get done? Maybe something that adds on to the MMTCP program, adds emotional intelligence, yoga certification, whatever. Is there something that maybe that can be done in these 90 days that will allow you to cross it off your list for 2023, but also allows you to lay a great groundwork to whatever you want to happen in 2024?
Jennifer, can I add a little exercise that might be
Please,
fun?
Please add.
In the chat, let's each say one thing that we want to let go of and one thing we want to accomplish in the next 90 days. So, and then Jennifer, maybe you can share with the audience when people do it. So let's start. I'll start here.
So one business, maybe one professional and one personal.
Well, I'm thinking something people want to let go of, and then what someone wants to accomplish. Because
Okay.
when you let go of something, you allow space for something new to come in.
Okay.
If that's okay.
Yeah, it is okay.
Okay.
That is okay.
Okay.
So while we're doing that, we're waiting for stuff to come up in the chat, I'll continue to go through my notes. Is there a personal goal for 2024 that you want to lay the foundation for right now? And sometimes that is unplugging for 90 days so you can recharge your batteries. So we have a let go of striving in the professional. Striving is a good word. Striving is a good description of what can possibly happen in the last 90 days. And if there's something like that's really exciting, you really want to get it done, that doesn't require you beating yourself over the head about, striving for that is good. If you are beating yourself over the head, striving, not so much. Let's see, let go of what ifs and embracing the what is. That's great. Yeah. Bringing openness to new ways of thinking and creating. Gosh, yeah. I think I'm going to have to take that. I'm going to steal that, to let go of what ifs and embrace the what is. That's the definition of mindfulness right there.
My mom always says shoulda, coulda, woulda. Anytime that growing up that we're like, oh, I should have done this, it's like, but you didn't. So you just move forward with what you did.
Yep. Let go of judgment, gain receptivity. And the goal for 2024 is belief in abundance. Yep, that's good. Yeah, scarcity mindset can really take over. It's easy to take over right now too. So the belief in abundance that it is all there and we have everything we need. And personal goal is no missing meditation and exercise for the next 90 days. Bold. So you're in luck. So it's only 80 days. So you're ahead of schedule. And you meditated today. So you can check that off for today.
I have been doing since our last, conversation about 90 days. So it's pretty good. I've been pretty consistent.
Good. It is. It's an achievable. It's 12 weeks. And so if you were ever a competitive athlete or, something else that needs like a 12-week plan, this is the way to get it done. And that is the way to start a habit too. And it's easy because you can actually, something like no missing meditation and exercise, you can check it right off your calendar. It's very satisfying. And open up to my origin story and conscious marketing. Keith, what does that mean?
So it's kind of like you were suggesting to, I can't remember your words, but to kind of get quiet and open up to what is emerging, kind of more CEO mindset, if you will, but really specifically looking at, what is the story I want to tell my future clients, and how can I put that together? And I have some work around that because I tend to be more task oriented. I look at 2023. I've got this long list of things that I've accomplished. All these things I've checked off, but then like I looked at for example, my LinkedIn, the about section. And it's like, it's like so lacking in creativity, and doesn't really say who I really am. And so I really want to work on that, that writing to get that story out there about who I really am, and who I want to connect with.
Oh, that's great. So you want to do visioning for the last 90 days.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And that takes deep work. That's quiet. That is set aside time.
Yes.
Every week. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's good. So visioning using specific trigger words like who am I? And
Yeah.
what have I been? Where have I been? Where am I going?
Yeah.
And that seems like, oh, I should be able to just easily just jot that out, but that takes a lot of deep work to do. So that's a good manageable last 90-day task. Because that probably takes up more bandwidth than you realize, trying to fit those things in around everything else.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Well, that's good. So that's a good transition. So there are some solutions to make this happen. I would encourage you to take some time this week, maybe today after the call, to decide what your December stop date is. So if you don't want to go all the way to December 31st, what is your stop date? What holidays do you celebrate? I don't know when Hanukkah is this year, but I think last year it was pretty early in December. So there was, the first week in December, if you were celebrating Hanukkah, you were just off, you were done at 4:30. And which I think is a good decision anyway. I think a digital sunset for everyone in December is a good idea. But pick your stop date and work back from there. How many weeks between December, so I'll say December 10th and October 10th, do we have left? I think that's 8 weeks, right? Is that 8? Yeah. November. Yeah, that's about 8 weeks. If December 10th is your stop date, because you want to build in some other stuff. Your last 90-day goals get mapped out in the next 8 weeks. So set aside some time for that. And be realistic about pushing through Thanksgiving week and early December weekends and Christmas week, right? Because it seems like there's a lot more time than there is, but it's also unfortunate if you have to push through holidays and things that are meant to bring together as community, because we don't do community very well. So if you can plan on having an easy Thanksgiving week rather than pushing it all the way to Wednesday, and then having an easy week before Christmas, if you celebrate Christmas, it's just an easy holiday. Let's see. Christmas is on a Monday. So that means Friday before Christmas is December 22nd. So if you can plan on having everything wrapped up on December 15th, both professionally and personally, then you have 1 week to have some breathing space before a holiday. And then I'd also like to suggest finishing the year with these last 90 days with a loving kindness practice. So in reviewing the year, we all can get a bit critical on, oh, I didn't accomplish this and this didn't get done and I forgot to do this and blah, blah, blah. And I'm a terrible person. And why can't I be more productive and efficient and blah, blah, blah. And why can't this person do this better? And we as a society do this better. 90 days of a loving kindness practice will definitely change your outlook on the year, good, bad, or ugly year. So I would encourage you to finish the year just with a simple loving kindness practice daily. And if you don't have a full 30 minutes to do that, then do it for 10. Just, take a couple of the phrases. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be safe. May you be at ease. May you be at peace. Pick a couple of those and repeat that. Even if it's just one phrase, may you be at peace. May you be safe. And just do it daily. And I'm going to put that on my list. I guess I didn't answer the question. What am I letting go of? What am I letting go of? I don't know what I'm letting go of this year. I don't know if I can do that on the fly. I know my last 90-day goals are to eat some frogs. I've got a lot of administrative frogs that I've been dragging with me all year unhappily. They've been biting me back all year, so it is time to just finally put them to bed. And the more I avoid them, the more energy I spend on them, and it's unnecessary suffering. It's unnecessary energy. And for my personal last 90 days, I guess I've spent the year purging the contents of my house. I have emptied every single room empty of my house one at a time and gotten rid of stuff that I am just not using anymore. And right now behind me, which is why you can't see it, is the last of it. I cleaned out I have a walk-up attic that had craft supplies and art supplies. And my household goal for the year was to set up an art studio in my basement. And I'm almost finished. I have just these piles of ephemera and old stuff to sort through. And then I'll be able to move forward in the new year, or in the last 90 days to move forward. It's been unbelievably harder than I would have expected to purge stuff. There has been tears putting stuff out on the curb, but I have to do it. And I'd like to say I feel better in here, but I'm not quite there yet. Purging. And then the last recommendation the last two recommendations I have are just pick one thing. There's only 8 to 10 weeks, and to add something to focus on, just one thing is enough. So one business, one personal, and then make space in your calendar for it. Like set aside the hour to do your meditation and your exercise, or to do your visioning, and set aside that hour for visioning when you are most open to it. Even if you have to rearrange some other things for that, if you have the most emotional bandwidth for visioning at Monday at 9 a.m., then set aside that time. Figure out what time works best for you and set aside that time. And then I guess I will end with, it's also a good time of year right now. Usually we say we'll set some New Year's resolutions right around January, the new year. I think it's a good time to do it right now, not with this transition from fall to winter. It's a good time to just look over the year and see what worked and see what didn't, and sort of see what you would like to happen in 2024. Because now you can lay the groundwork for it.